Hello students, welcome to EPG Pathshala. I am Dr. Shantanu Ganguly from Knowledge Management Division of TERI. Today we are going to talk a module Special Library Marketing under the paper Special and Research Libraries. Now in this particular thing we are going to cover a couple of topics which are of extreme importance to us, like changing the scenario, how special libraries are unique and different, marketing as a conceptual framework, marketing the library services which would be in context to the special library also, and some of the case studies of the special libraries I will be taking in detail. Now when we look at the changing scenario, there is a lot of technological developments have given library managers a wider set of options from which they can select the best combination to meet the needs of the users. Previously, the quality of a library tended to be judged on the size of its collection of books, journals, and other materials. This emphasis has shifted from collection to service to the delivery of documents and other items of information to the user. The notion of the electronic library offering direct access to users from remote location has become a reality now. There are some new roles of special libraries because there is a change is taking place in the special library professionals. The special library professionals has to be very professionally competent. So what are the core competency measures are required for this? The profession and the professionals are changing rapidly in the special library environment. Discussing the profile, Spencer in 2008 mentioned that competency of her changed radically when she converted the corporate library into a business research center. She also summarized that how it has become increasingly evident to that while some information professionals have successfully embraced change and moved forward, many others are struggling to find their place in the knowledge management environments that have emerged within their organizations. And many of those who are struggling have years of expertise while others are relatively new to the profession. If you look at the entrepreneurship, as Spencer mentioned in her paper in 2008, one of the very important component of in the special library environment, and when we are talking more about towards knowledge management aspect, what is most important is the business acumen. So a lot of emphasis was given to entrepreneurship. Libraries are operating in a rapidly changing environment. So the entire scenario of the libraries are changed in the special library context. The technological innovation, the changes in cultural participation and media consumption, news, social and cultural agendas of local governments are a few challenges for the library managers today. Libraries and librarians are facing many challenges and need to rapidly change to meet the needs of today's consumers to avoid being marginalized. In fact, the libraries and the librarians has to cope up with the current change and the challenges. See, the user when they are visiting to a library, they are already aware of what they need and they have done a preliminary research for their information needs. So what they need is much more beyond which is available. So a new breed of librarians possessing a new range of skills could only meet these challenges very successfully. Now let us now look at the marketing concept, which is not only an activity but a philosophy too. The famous marketing guru Philip Kotler, he himself has said that the marketing is an extremely important for any profit as well as a non-profit organization. Let us take a definition of marketing which is coined by Chartered Institute of Marketing. According to them, marketing is the management process which identifies, anticipates, and supplies customer requirements efficiently and profitably. The American Marketing Association, they coined slightly in an advanced mode and they said, marketing is the process of planning and execution, the conception, pricing, promotion, and distribution of ideas, goods, services to create, exchange, and satisfy individual and organizational objectives. So, if we look at these definitions, the key points of marketing are business process, meeting customer requirements, meeting the organization's objectives. Marketing is an exchange process because there is a give and take takes place, and it is applied to good ideas, goods and services. Now, why library marketing we are at all talking here? Whether it is in the context of public library, academic library or your special library, why there is a library marketing? One of the major concern is funds problem, library image building, proactive approach, changing scenario of the library information center. It is no more a conventional library information center. There is a radical change in the entire face of the library information center is taking place. Optimum utilization of resources and proactive service to the users. In fact, Dr. S.R. Ranganathan, in his 5 laws of library science, if you look at it very meticulously, you will see that he himself has also highlighted the marketing aspect somewhere or the other. Like, for example, in his first law, he talked about library resources are for use. So, if a resource is not being used, it should be either eliminated or marketed. It's very simple. Every customer, his or her library resources. It is not enough to make customers happy. We must delight them. It is something more which is more than happy they are. Do more than they expect. That's a very important thing. And every library resource, its customers. So how you position your library, how you do your branding of library, it is an extremely important component in today's context. Save the time of the user. The librarian's mantra, better, cheaper and faster. Better is subjective. Cheaper is often irrelevant, but faster is a measurable benefit. In fact, in special library environment, what we basically very important when we look at the time of delivering a service, what we basically call it as SLA, service level assessment. It is extremely important to measure the service level assessment. A library is a growing organism. Nothing is constant. In fact, you can see that there is a growth of resources irrespective of the format, whether it is electronic or print. There is an enormous amount of resources is growing day by day. So nothing is constant. And make it easy for your customers to tell you what you did well and what was done very poorly. Let's be very transparent into it. Marketing the library services. Marketing the key connect to content to the user. So there is a connection exists between the user and the content. A way of thinking. Every interaction, every connection is equally important. Users don't really know what we offer. Switching from collection centered to user centric through access and services. Understanding who are users and focusing on the specific needs and their expectations. Marketing library services. Become the person who reaches out to the users and bring them the answers. Deliver needed information and also provide service of which they were unaware. The best services give more than the customer expects. So you have to go beyond the expectation of the customer so that ultimately your main goal is to satisfy the customer's needs through simple stimulation of the unexpected learning that comes through serendipity and unplanned beneficial interaction with services, peoples and resources. Now, marketing library services, if you look at it the physical point of view, creating a flexible environment in the library. The library environment has to be a very attractive and flexible and user-centric. For example, you should have a comfortable browsing seats, built-in cafe. In fact, in many of the international as well as in the national libraries, you will find that they have got an inbuilt cafe where the users can sit together along with the resources. They can debate and they can discuss on different issues. Late study areas, in fact, there used to be a very popular thing called carrels, various spaces for individuals with different learning styles, group study rooms, quiet study place, computer zones, teaching space, and then the information commons. Whereas in the virtual world, if we look at the marketing library services, there is also an enormous changes are taking place as far as the special library is concerned. Creating library website with more visual graphics. In fact, there was a time when people used to have the entire website in the form of a simple static website. But nowadays it is more portal oriented, more interactive, lot of videos, YouTube videos and all, they were all embedded in it. Generating individual portal web page, listing relevant resources, developing online game or multimedia tutorials, positioning librarians as players in teaching, incorporate library resources into course management system, email reference services, and live reference assistance in real time. In fact, there should be a section called My Library Portal, which is almost related to MySpace, because then each and every user should feel after visiting to your website that this is my website and I need to contribute. It has to be a two-way communication portal. That's very important today. Weblogs, wiki, RSS feed, and podcasting. Offering workshop directly related to their particular topic. Attending departmental faculty meetings and always have new and relevant information for them. Because then only you would be able to understand the needs of these people. Provide convenient services to the users like Endeca Library 2.0 through the application of Web 2.0. Create a library newsletter. Advertising in the different websites of the college website or special library website or wherever you like, you do the advertising as much as possible. We'll be taking the promotional aspect little later. Database of the month, you can say that these are the new database. So it's a kind of an information literacy you are doing. So you make an announcement in the website itself that this is the new database we have procured, so please come and visit us. So involvement in the different kinds of relational activities also, that's also a very pragmatic thing. To me, marketing is divided into 5W and 1H. Why, who, what, when, where, and how. How is basically the methodology part. Why? If no one knows about your library and how it can help your customers meet their goals, the library will not and should not continue to exist. Overlooked eventually can mean unemployment. How to market? Marketing is not hard. It just takes organization and some good ideas. So what you need is make a suitable plan for it. Who should market? You, the librarian. You are supposed to do the marketing. But why? No one else will do it for you. So you are the custodian of the entire resources. You are the focal point of the entire library. You know your library better than anyone else. You know, or you should know, your organizations and your customers best. No one has more to gain from your marketing or more to lose if you don't market. What to market? The different kinds of the information products and the information service which you have generated. Information products and service you could provide if there was a funding support, or maybe you are developing from your own on different perspective. It could be in the form of print, it could be in the form of virtual also, electronic also. But remember, the real product of your library is what and way you answer to your users' needs. More on who is your competition? It's a very important. So currently, if you look at who is your competition, the internet, the Google. Direct sales by vendors to the end user, asking a nearby colleague, making a phone call to another library or information center. None of the above. The library's biggest and most dangerous competitor is simply doing without. Who are your customers? What do they need? How do you find out what your customers need or want? Ask them. Combination of surveys and interviews. So you in on regular intervals, you carry out the survey and the interviews. Don't forget to include people who are not library users. Ask them, why don't they use the library? Have they encountered any problems with service or staff in the past? They have turned them off the library. So you have to address these questions to find out that why, suppose your visit of your, footfalls in your library has come down. So only they can, these answers to these questions can give a very good result to you so that you can act upon it. That's a very important thing. When to market? You have to market always. Only thing is that you have to define a time frame. You have to come out with a frame, a time, kind of an action plan. It is extremely important. They are also specially receptive at the time of need. You can also cross-sell. When you deliver one piece of information, you can also promote another product or service. Where to market? Within your own institution or community. To present customers, to possible customers who could be in the future, to the people with the money, to customers outside your institution. We are going to discuss a very important component on marketing mix. Now, marketing mix has 4 P's of marketing. It's basically how they are interrelated. These 4 are coined by Dr. Philippe Kotler, a renowned marketing guru, out of which one of them is product, second is price, third is promotion, and the fourth is place. We are going to deal with each one of them into more details in the coming slides. Now, in 1981, Booms and Bittners, they came out with 3 more P's actually. So they said it is not only 4 P's, but we can extend it to 7 P's if we include the service sector. And since we are in the library information service, for our context, all the 7 P's are very important. So now it stands as product, price, place, promotion, people, process, and physical evidence. Product, it is the aspect of the marketing mix that deals with the creation, development, and management of products. Product decisions are important because they directly involve creating products that satisfies customers' needs and wants, and introducing new products, modifying existing ones, and eliminating those that are no longer satisfying the customer needs. There is a distinct nature of information as a product. So you need to understand why we are calling information as a product. Information is not lost when it is given or sold to others. The value of information is not quantifiable. Information has no intrinsic value, and the value depends upon the context and the type of user. Information can have multiple life cycles as ideas and authors move in and out of the fashion also. And technology facilitates and constrains the delivery of information. It is crucial to delivery. So delivery is a very important thing. Information may be acquired as with purchase or lease of a CD-ROM, or accessed as with access to internet resources. Information may be repackaged in very many different ways. There is a different things are there into that. So information may be repackaged. Now, the end user, product, and the services categories, if you look at, is like, for example, periodicals. You have a different categories into that, like learned journals, academic journals, professional journals, magazines, newspapers, newsletters, and bulletin boards. When you talk about books, it has got different categories. In fact, each one of them is an information as a product. Adult fiction, that is classics. Adult fiction, popular. Adult non-fiction, learned textbooks. adult non-fiction popular, children's fiction, children's non-fiction, paperback books, hardcover books. End user product and services others category like published reports from the government and other agencies, videos, music CDs, DVD, multimedia documents, government publications, corporate reports, technical and business, patents, conference proceedings. Now we will come to the second major component of the marketing mix, which is called as price. It defined the value obtained in an exchange, in exchange of information service or information products. It may be used as a competitive tool. It is one of the marketing mix variable which can be changed quickly with a change in the environment. It plays both economic and psychological role. Economic perspective, like it is closely associated with the cost and the profit that is generated. So very is extremely important, this price section. Psychological perspective, it may be used as an indicator of quality. For customers, psychological perspective plays a vital role because you are trying to deal with the customer psychology here. So the pricing can easily go take a change also into that. Now, pricing strategies in the information marketplace, it could be item based pricing, like you pick up a particular unique item and you give it a pricing to that. Then pay for use, like for example in many of the databases, when we use a certain, like for example case studies, if you are using it, then you have to pay a price. If you have a multiple use of the same case studies, then you have to pay for the multiple prices. So it pay per use, so that's a very important thing. Subscriptions, where basically you have a bundle pricing, I mean you take a package of entire online products and you pay for it. Contracts, you can have a contractual pricing. And then the CD-ROM pricing, where a particular product in a tangible product which has got a different kinds of a pricing. The another important component is promotion. Awareness generations about the organization, new or existing products, to educate consumers, to include advertising, public relations, personal selling, and direct marketing. It is one of the two-way communication with customers that forms the basis for customer relationships. And promotion of services represents specific difficulties because they are intangible. Service advertising and promotion needs tangible clues such as physical facilities, and personal selling plays a very vital role. Some of the promotional components we will discuss here. It could be advertising, direct marketing, use of mail, telephone, mail shots, leaflets, sales promotion, public relations and publicity, personal selling, sponsorship, like large publishing organizations involved in sponsorship of events, support to educational institutions. Now, there are some marketing communication strategies which we will look into very details. Now, the first is stages in designing the communication strategies. So, you have to identify the target audience whom you are aiming to, determine the communication objectives, design the message which gets attracted, select the communication channels, establish promotional budget, because for promotion you need a certain amount of budget, because sometimes we don't keep the budget and we fail to do a proper promotion activity of that. Decide on promotional mix, because sometimes it is not only the print media but other media would be also required. It could be electronic media, it could be social media, many things would be required. So you need to have a promotional mix media. Evaluation, so at the end you have to do the evaluation part. Now when you are designing the message content is the most primary thing. What message to communicate, the message structure, how to express the message. See, each and every component is very vital for a marketing communication strategy to design. Message format, how to represent the message in symbol, pictures, text, and message source, who should communicate the message, who is the spokesperson for it. And non-personal communication channels are like the press, the television, the radio, the posters, the leaflets, and publicity, and finally the web. Then comes the Another component of the marketing mix is called place, or the delivery mechanism. I mean the place where you are delivering the information service or the products. Products must be available at the right time at a convenient location. Place is concerned both with the customer service, delivery points such as small outlets and all. Distribution network that ensures that the products make their way from a producer or a creator to the end user or to the customer. Distribution in terms of service emphasize on the right service at the right time and in a right convenient location. Earlier libraries, both academic and public, used to occupy central locations on university campuses. But with the change in the above situation, branch libraries, mobile technology, electronic delivery mechanisms, etc., change the scenario. The other component of the marketing mix is people. Most services use people in service delivery, often creating and delivering the product in interaction with the customer. Now, here I want to mention one thing from my own experience, I'm expressing it. See, the people who are into your service, I mean the service professional who are providing the service, it's extremely important. Who are providing the service to the customers, they're the first hand, the people who interact in your reference desk or your issue return desk or so. The quality of the interaction between the information service professional and the customer has a major influence on satisfaction. Developing a trust, a rapport with the customer strengthens the service relationship. The process, once a customer has experienced a service process for the first time, they start to learn what their contribution to the process should be. In service environments of public access kiosk, the customer is taken through a process by the prompts on the computer screen. Physical evidence, physical surrounding from which a service is delivered. Physical evidence is important in service delivery because it usually the tangible clue that the customer has about the quality of the service experience. Libraries and other service industries pay attention to atmosphere, ambience, image, and the design of the premise. Some of the categories of the information customers, I have categorized them here. So it would be easy for you because each one of you would be working on a different kind of a library or must be working on a different kinds of a library, whether in a public library or academic library or a special library, or you have a different kinds of stakeholders. You have a general public where adults, children, special groups, they all come together. Whereas professional groups, you have the professionals like dentists, hospital, doctors, accountant, lawyers. Academic users are children, adults, students, adult staff. Business users like research and development scientists, marketers, managers, administrators, and information intermediaries like knowledge agents within organizations, information brokers, consultants, they are. Here we would be taking some of the select cases of marketing in special libraries. Like first is the Health Science Library. For example, you have All India Institute of Medical Sciences Library, the National Medical Library, the Petal Chest Library, the Unani Medicine Library, like we have CCRUM, then CCRUH, like on Homeopathy Library, Ayurvedic Library, Voluntary Health Association of India, they have got a very library information set. So each one of them, there are several other health science libraries. See, the most important thing, two things are important. One, who are your customers or who are your users? You need to understand their needs, and accordingly then you can provide the service to them. And the number two is the content. Because for each one of them, the content is very specific. So in a special library context, the users are very special. You have a special clientele and you have a special content for matching the requirement of each of these libraries. Now we'll go to the next kind of special libraries. The another one is a agricultural library. For example, you have a NAFED Library Information Center, you have an Indian Agriculture Research Library, you have a IFCO library. Now all these libraries are exclusively focusing on the agriculture sector. The research takes place only in the agriculture sectors, agriculture and other allied areas. It could be fertilizers, it could be pesticides and all. Now here, once again, in these kind of special library, the stakeholders are very different. On one hand, you can have a lot of information, lot of researchers, lot of students, lot of consultants, and a lot of business experts. And on the other hand, your content has to be very different, because for NAFED Library and Information Center, they are more into business and all. So there the content would be different. Whereas in Indian Agriculture Research Institute Library, you have an agriculture sector, but you have a lot of academic resources are there. Even for the IFCO library, there is a fertilizer related, but a lot of resources are there for lot of reports, policy documents, lot of research reports and other technical reports. They have a composition of that. So that's a very extremely important for agriculture library. Then comes your government and autonomous body library. These are the libraries which are here. I have explained. I'll try to explain on two libraries. I have taken an example. One is a National Productivity Council library, and another is a Central Secretariat library. Now, National Productivity Council library is an autonomous library under Ministry of Industry, whereas Central Secretariat library is a it is under Ministry of Culture. It's a direct library under Ministry of Culture. Now, if here the users are mostly those who are working in the field of the government, whereas there is also a slight difference in it, because in the National Productivity Council library, there you have a large number of researchers and you have large number of consultants who are basically working on different government projects. So their requirement of content is completely different compared to the Central Secretariat library, where you can get an enormous amount of gazette, the Government of India declarations, the different kinds of reports, and different kinds of economic survey and all. I mean, all kind of government. It's basically a repository of all kind of government documents in Central Secretariat library. It's an extremely vital library. So the content and the users of these libraries are quite different. Then comes your NGO and the social sector library. I have given a couple of examples here: Center for Science and Environment, TERI, where I belong to, then Council for Women, CWDS, the CAPART. So these basically, the NGO and the social sector library, they basically work on different subject, special subject areas. So if you are working in one of these social sector libraries, the most primary thing is which particular social sector basically they are focusing on, because social sector is an extremely broad area. You need to understand which particular area in the social sector area they are working. Like for example, Center for Science and Environment, they are working into environmental sector. TERI is an organization working on in the field of energy, environment, sustainable development, bioresources, biotechnology. So you can see on 4-5 areas they are working. Whereas CWDS, they are working on women and child development. And in CAPART, it is more into rural technologies. So, and here you have not only the researchers, but consultants, but you have different kinds of policymakers also. So once again, your users are different and your content is also different. The management libraries. The another category of these special libraries is, like for example, IMI, International Management Institute, Management Development Institute, MDI, All India Management Association, Indian Institute of Management. So their focus is completely on management aspect. So you have different kinds of professors, different kinds of researchers, you have different kinds of students, you have project consultants. They are basically looking for information in the area of management. So all the resources related to management you will get only in a management libraries. So these are some of the examples of the management libraries. Then is a socio-economic library like IEG Library, Institute of Economic Growth, and NASDOC, National Social Science Documentation Center. Now here IEG Library is more into economics. See, it is an extremely special library today in the country who are more towards working towards economic theories and economic aspects and the economic growth of the country, whereas NASDOC is a national social science. So basically their documentation center is completely focused only on the social sciences aspect. So these two libraries content is quite different. One is on social sciences, another is on economics. So we need to understand. So the researchers, the different kinds of the aspirants of these particular libraries, it is also different here in this context. R&D institution library, then you have a CSIR library, a Council for Scientific and Industrial Research, TERI library, Central Road Research Institute library. These are all exclusively on R&D institutions library. Now these R&D institutions, they are into research and development. They are bringing out different aspects of through their research and development and innovation. Like CSR library have got different branches in throughout India. They have got almost 22 branches in all over India, which are each one of the CSR library is on a particular subject areas. In fact, they have multiple branches and each one of them have their own libraries. So their content is quite different. In fact, CSIR main library is has got a very unique industrial research and industrial research content, whereas in the specific industrial research content, if you go more, they have a different kinds of libraries, like for example CMAP, Central Institute of Medicinal and Aromatic Plants, or CDRI, which is on drugs, Central Drug Research Institute in Lucknow. So they have a different kinds of content which are related to the industrial research. Central Road Research Institute, this is also once again a part of the CSIR library, but they are more into road. The entire how the different kinds of roads which are laid out in the country, how the research is taking place in these areas. Here you have a different kinds of researchers, you have different kinds of consultants, you have a policymakers, and for them the content is also different. So the content is different in all the cases. Corporate Information Center. Here a couple of examples are given, like National Productivity Council Library, CII Library, FICCI Library, KPMG Library. These are basically very specialized corporate information centers because they deal with all kind of needs of the corporate sectors. They are providing service to different corporates on different aspects, and mostly these libraries are very small and they have got a very specialized content in print form, but they have got enormous resources in form of digital. So they nowadays they are more focused on digital aspects of that. And many of these libraries like CII Library, FICCI Library, KPMG Library, they have got a very strong knowledge management center because they need a kind of different structure of information service. So their content is quite different and their professionals are also very different because they have to come up with the different kinds of business acumen, entrepreneurship, which we have discussed earlier also. So in the conclusion, I will talk about a quote from 1998 by Harman and Altman. There is a very famous book on assessing service quality, satisfying the expectation of the library. I would urge all the students to please go through this book. Unless customers and the collection come together in a way both interesting and meaningful to customers, the library is nothing more than an expensive warehouse. Marketing is creating an awareness of your value. So thank you very much.